Okay, now I'm fortunate enough to have my hands on a copy of the Office 2010 beta, and I wanted to run you through a few of the things that are new and exciting. Beforehand, I'll show you Smarter, which is available in 2007, but unfortunately some people don't seem to know about it. So, you take a standard set of bullet points, right-click, and then you can convert to Smarter. Now, simply by hovering over, you can see that it's obviously going to give you a number of options. Now, I'll pick this one because it includes an image tile, and quite simply, take that graphic now and we can spice it up by using some of the gallery effects. We can add some colors, and again, because it has that picture tile, I can click on it, add a picture, voila. Nice and simple, really effective way to change boring bullet points into something a little bit more interesting. That can still have sub points, so if you had sub bullet points, they'll be reflected in the graphic as well. Let's get onto some pictures. Now, in 2007, you've had this thing introduced called Gallery View, and now I can hover over, and what it'll do is add interesting effects, borders, reflections, shadows, all that kind of stuff to my photos. New to 2010, if you go to the artistic effects section, I can now add actual effects to the image, change it to a charcoal, watermarks, grey it out, that kind of stuff. So there's some really interesting effects that are included by default. But what gets me really excited is the Remove Background tool. So for those of you that have ever tried to remove a background using photo editing software, it can take you ages because you've got to add about 1,000 points to define what's behind and what's in front, and it's a pain. So I'm going to click the tool once. It does something called intelligent pixel matching, and by default it's going to try and recognize what we're looking to include. But obviously not perfect, it is beta, it's missed a bit of his neck. I'll click a few times just to tell it what it is that I'm looking to include. Click off, voila, done. So that's not just a white background, that's actually a transparency. What I really like about this is obviously I can still now hover over and add all my gallery effects, but beyond that, let's say I didn't even want to use PowerPoint, I can just simply go right click, save as picture, and then close PowerPoint entirely and just use it to remove background from all my photos. I found that quite exciting. Where I think some of the most benefit will come through from this particular update is the fact that the videos are now largely been reviewed. So I can go through, click on video. Now I can insert from YouTube or from a website. Now it's not going to download it for you, it will link it, but it means that you don't have to go and think of interesting and creative ways to get that put into your PowerPoint. Or obviously from file. If I want to do it from file, I can also just click on insert media clip down there. When I have my media clip, for previous versions, I would have to start the PowerPoint to see what's going on. Now we get this bar down the bottom, and I can click play, and I can actually preview within my window. On top of that, I can skip to any point and see what it's going to look like. More exciting than that is now the gallery effects have been extended to my video, so I can straight away add interesting effects. I quite like the fact that I don't have to wait for it to re-render and whatnot. So for now, I think I'm going to add this one. We can now also do something called video shapes. So I could click through, turn it into a thought bubble, and my video is now fully rendered, ready to go in that 3D bubble environment. I can add reflections and whatnot to it as well. More exciting, instead of having this just turn up, as you can see on the left, as a black thought bubble, I can actually set a poster frame. So around the 20-second mark, there's a koala in here somewhere. So what I can do is I can now go set poster frame, current frame, and in my presentation, as you can see now, when I go to that, the koala will be the frame that's set to begin with. Better again, let's say that was too long. The video's an hour long and I only want a 15-minute clip of that particular portion. I can go trim video. Without having to send it off to another video application, I can now trim the start and end points. Done. And that's it. On top of that, it took me a little while to find the koala. Let's say at the 14-second point there was something that I wanted to look at. I can add a bookmark. So mid-presentation, I can just skip straight to that point. Very, very cool. But with video, there's always a trade-off. And by being able to actually now embed a video, so you don't have to worry about does it link, does it break, do I have to send the file with it, we're actually physically embedding the video within the PowerPoint doc. Obviously one of the key considerations is going to be size. So they've introduced something called Backstage View, and up here you see this little file. Once you click on that, it'll now take you to a set of menus that are specific to what you're looking at, and you can see straight away it's come up and said, oi, you've got a 25 meg video. Not good. So if I want to email it to someone, or if I want to be able to share it, I can simply just go compress media, and I'll take it down to, say, internet quality, so something like YouTube quality, and without having to export it to another application, without having to send it to a video editor, worrying about the file formats, anything like that, it's going to do it on the fly. It's actually pretty quick. I'll let it finish, and we'll see how much it actually compresses that. The other thing I think I like most about this particular Backstage view is just the way that it shows the information, real life images and whatnot. There you go, it's nearly taken 20 meg off that file, so that would be much more appropriate to send through and share. At the same time, if we now go to the share section, we can save it straight to SkyDrive. So if your students are using SkyDrive, which is 25 gig storage in the cloud, they can click through and just save it straight up. Teachers, if you're using SharePoint, can do exactly the same thing to your SharePoint site. Something really exciting is the fact that I can now do a broadcast. So if I have a live ID, which is Hotmail account, SkyDrive, any of those Microsoft Live services give me an ID, I can now broadcast. It'll send my PowerPoint up to the web, give me a URL that I can send to parents or teachers or whoever it is that I want to show my slideshow to. And as long as they've got access to the internet and a web browser, so that could be on their mobile phone, it could be at home, I can actually control and walk them through my PowerPoint document. It could be a parent-teacher night. Parents couldn't make it in, excuse me, they jump on the phone and we can run them through the presentation. More than that, you can obviously, as you've been able to do for a little while now, PDF straight out of the document, turn it into a video, or create handouts. So that'll send it straight to Word in the format that you want, and you'll be able to print it without having to copy, paste, and reconfigure. Now, I'll go back very quickly, and what I find quite impressive is the level of integration that's been built into these applications. So I can now drag that across or copy paste however I want. Full fidelity is maintained from that image or video, and just a little creative way, I can have these penguins thinking about the koala, go to my presentation, it's there, and I get the option to obviously play that video. Last but not least, I'll show you the review section. There's something now called Link Notes. So if I save this document, I'll just save it as presentation 1. Go to Link Notes, it's now going to bring up a docked version of OneNote side by side. So let's say my students, we'll put it into some unfiled notes. Let's say my students have been sent a PowerPoint doc that I'm working on, and we're walking through it together as a class. I'll be at this particular point, and I'll type in animals thinking. Click off, come down here, a different section of the PowerPoint, and I'll go Kingfisher, because that's the particular kind of penguin we're talking about as an example, and another place, bullet points. Now, I'll open up a new web browser, and I'll go to Teacher Toolbox. Now, this could be something that I'm working on with the class. It's a particular website that I'm referencing as part of this assignment, and I can click down here and go Toolbox, and I'll close that off. Now, why is this so exciting? The fact that it's docked makes it a lot easier to use, but even better than that is I come back in 2 weeks' time, I've got no idea what this means. I'm sure it made sense at the time, but if I hover over now, it'll show me that it was not only a PowerPoint, but where I was. Even better, if I click on it, it'll actually take me to that point within the document. Better again, if I go back to my OneNote, you'll see that it's Internet Explorer. Shows me not only the address that I was on, but again, if I click on that link, it'll take me straight back to that website where I was. Really deep level of integration, really easy to use. So that's about what I want to show you for 2010 today. If you've got any questions, feel free just to jump on the blog, post them up. I'll make sure that there's a link available for you to download. Thanks very much.